With interest rates continuing to skyrocket and outstanding revolving debt hitting $1 trillion this year, money management and debt are hot topics right now that impact just about everyone. But do they affect everyone in the same way? Here to talk about the generational differences in money habits and their impacts, as well as how you can achieve healthier financial future, is Natalia Brown and Daisha Kennedy from National Debt Relief. Thank you so very much for joining us, ladies. Natalia, you recently conducted a national survey to have a deeper understanding of the impact of bad money habits across generations. So can you share some of those findings?
Absolutely. Thank you for having us, by the way. We just really wanted to understand how generational differences impact attitudes and behaviors around people's money habits. We found some interesting differences, but the bigger takeaway was that it confirmed the need for more actionable tools to help people and their behaviors across all generations. We found 60% of people admitted to making poor decisions when it comes to money, and 42% said that they were going through some kind of financial struggle. On the flip side, the majority of people claim that have to have at least some information about how to develop money habits, but 50% were incorporating them. Just because we know things doesn't mean we can implement and use those things. And we found that millennials over any other generation were more self-aware, and they also were equipped with the different uses of information when it came to influencers, podcasts, apps, and books that they were using to increase their knowledge around financial stability.
That's very interesting. It seems like if you have more access to this kind of information, then you're more likely to use it. If you use it, then you're more likely to have better choices.
Absolutely.
That's very interesting. So Daisha, what are the most common money habits that seem to transcend generations, and how do these habits contribute to a cycle of debt?
Yes, in National Debt Relief survey, the most common bad money habits were writing off small purchases as insignificant. And these small purchases, they usually go unnoticed. And we're talking about things like vending machine fees, last minute grabs at the checkout line, unused subscription services and membership services. Gambling was also one, which doesn't necessarily mean casinos. It can mean something like buying lottery tickets, which most people think because of the price that it's insignificant, but it adds up very quickly. And also using credit cards to pay bills, which can easily be troublesome if you're using them without a plan to pay off the balance. And these habits contribute to the cycle of debt because they create a pattern of financial instability and reliance on credit card to maintain a certain lifestyle to cover unexpected or unnecessary expenses. Over time, these fees, they really add up, and it can make it very challenging to break free from this cycle.
That's really interesting. So Daisha, how can younger generations break free from detrimental money patterns?
There are so many factors that go into this, but breaking free of this cycle, it often requires a conscious effort to change these money habits. And that can involve creating a budget, reducing unnecessary expenses, building an emergency fund, seeking relevant financial education, and making a commitment to live within your means. And National Debt Relief survey, we got some great advice from the older generations to the younger ones. For example, 61% of baby boomers, they recommended that younger generations start and create emergency saving funds. They also recommended that we save and invest as early as possible. Breaking free from these bad money habits, it can be challenging, but it's possible with the right financial tools and guidance.
That's very cool. You got to stay smart with your money, and I totally agree with you. Now, can one of you share some tips on how to cope and overcome financial debt?
Absolutely, I can do that for you. So to Daisha's point, you have to make a conscious decision. So you have to look at your financial situation, even if it's scary. You have to get a full picture. You have to get your debts in order. You have to understand, what the balances are, what the interest rates are, what the minimum monthly payments are. If it's feeling overwhelming or you feel like you're struggling, you can get some help from a financial advisor or go to a reputable debt settlement company, and you can get that guidance on how to negotiate with your creditors. At National Debt Relief, we try to make it as easy as possible and as affordable as possible. And in a timing, it's 24 to 48 months versus years and years and years if you're just paying those minimum balances on your own. And we also make sure that there's community and tools so that people can feel the support while they're going through such a financial stressful situation. And then my last point is, once you have plan, stay committed, try not to get discouraged by setbacks or slow progress, and take time to actually celebrate your achievements along the way. And celebrating does not have to cost anything. It could just be, a jump up and down because you're doing so well. Just stay motivated.
That's very excellent. So Natalia, where can folks go to learn more and get some more tools?
So there's lots of information on our website. It's nationaldebtrelief.com. There's lots of frequently asked questions, or you can give us a phone call for a free consultation to get that, financial journey started at 800-718-0487.
That is fantastic. Ladies, thank you so very much for joining us today. And guys, this is incredibly useful information. So if you want to go back and check this out again, remember, you can always see this episode again on our website.